Yesterday's session of the House of Representatives was limited to formalities as the government stepped back from tabling the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Nepal Compact for its ratification. With the parliament rescheduled for tomorrow, ruling coalition partner CPN Maoist Centre have warned of quitting the government if efforts are made for forceful ratification of the MCC in its present form. Good morning, I am Bipashan Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. The ruling alliance to hold a decisive meeting on MCC today. CPN Maoist Centre adopting strategy to compel the Prime Minister to back away from the agreement. The Election Commission to start the party registration process from today for the local level election to be held on 13th of May. Registration to continue until 27th of February. At least 94 people killed in landslides and flash flooding in the Brazilian city of Petrópolis. City's mayor declares a state of emergency. And Liverpool take a huge step towards the Champions League quarterfinals after blanking Inter Milan 2-0 in the first leg of the last 16 match. The MCC Nepal Compact was not tabled at the Parliament yesterday in absence of consensus among ruling parties. Nepali Congress stepped back from tabling the compact following the warning of Maoist Centre and Unified Socialists to quit the government. A meeting of the coalition partners has been called for today at 3 p.m. to decide the fate of the American-funded grant program, while the Parliament session has been pushed for tomorrow. Despite nearing agreement on the MCC Nepal Compact by generating consensus within ruling parties, parliamentary party meeting of CPN Maoist Centre on Wednesday morning decided not to proceed with the American grant program in the present form and said that it would quit the government if efforts were made to ratify the aid project. In his meeting with Prime Minister Shehbahadur Deuba, Maoist Centre Chair Pushpa Kamal Dahal said that the coalition could be broken if the compact was tabled at the Parliament. Dahal's U-turn led to Prime Minister Deuba identifying the need for additional discussion in the coalition. This resulted in the MCC Nepal Compact not being tabled at the Parliament yesterday. The government is now making preparations to table the compact on the Parliament session scheduled for tomorrow after final discussion among the coalition partners. With Nepal's political sphere divided in the decisive hour for the ratification of America-funded Millennium Challenge Corporation, future of the ruling coalition has appeared uncertain. It remains to be seen if the MCC conundrum leads to the split of the five-party alliance led by Prime Minister Shehbahadur Deuba, formed 8 months ago. Ever since the appointment of Shehbahadur Deuba as the Prime Minister, leaders of parties in the ruling coalition have expressed commitment of sustaining the alliance. They had been preparing to retain the coalition for the upcoming elections. However, with the MCC Nepal Compact stranded at the Parliament, the ruling parties remain polarized on its ratification, raising questions on the future of the alliance. Largest party of the coalition, Nepali Congress, appears in no mood of withdrawing on its decision to table the compact at the Parliament just to sustain the alliance. Second largest party, CPN Maoist Centre, is prioritizing the withdrawal of MCC Nepal Compact instead of sustaining the coalition. The situation has reached a complicated turn as Maoist Centre have said that they would rather quit the government than ratifying the compact in its recent form. Another coalition partner, CPN Unified Socialists, are also not in favor of ratification of the project in its present form, while Janata Samajwadi Party have not stated their clear stance. With the future of the coalition uncertain, analysts have begun assessing legal hurdles and political mathematics at the Parliament. Polarization among the major political parties on the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Nepal Compact has made evident their lack of capabilities in mobilizing foreign aid. MCC Nepal Compact is a 60 billion rupees grant assistance from the United States of America. However, with the political leadership at sharp contrasts, public opinion across the country is divided as well. This leads to questioning the capabilities of leaders who have led the government in several occasions. Sister organizations of CPN Maoist Centre were protesting when their Chairperson Pushpakamal Dahal was meeting with Prime Minister Shehbahadur Doba. The situation is a consequence of the dual nature of former Prime Minister Dahal in relation to the MCC Nepal Compact. Similarly, Unified Socialist leaders, former Prime Minister Madhav Kumar Nepal and Jhalanath Khanal did not seem to have the proper understanding on the MCC Nepal Compact on time and failed to make their cadres aware about the grant assistance. The situation reflects dilemma and the lack of clarity among senior political figures on mobilizing foreign aid. Another former Prime Minister and senior Janata Samajwadi leader, Baburam Bhattarai, has vocally supported the MCC Nepal Compact. However, chairperson of his party and former Deputy Prime Minister Upendra Yadav is against that belief. Main opposition CPN-UML is no exception. UML chairperson and a two-time Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has been airing contrasting statements on the compact when in and out of power. His party's former Deputy Prime Minister Bhim Rawal has been identifying flaws in the compact. This situation is a reflection of confusion among the senior political leaders who have led the government in regard to the use of foreign aid. It has also led to divided public opinion across the country. Lack of clarity among such leaders does not just hurt national interests, but also raises questions on Nepal's image in the international community. The MCC conundrum has been more or less a catch-22 situation of Nepali politics, where the ruling parties feel compelled to bow down to the pressure from the Washington despite all the public sentiments against the multi-million-dollar project. The MCC bill, which was all set to be tabled at the Parliament yesterday, failed to proceed ahead at the 11th hour in the face of the lack of consensus among the ruling parties. In this special report prepared by the English desk, we try to look into the worldwide scenario of the US-funded Millennium Challenge Corporation.
Multiple governments, including that of the Nepali Congress, the CPN-UML and the Maoists, all worked and negotiated with the MCC headquarters in Washington as an agreement between the government of Nepal and the US signed the MCC Nepal Compact in September 2017. Apart from Nepal, over 30 countries with developing economies, a criteria must to receive the grant money are linked to the US-funded project. The US has been hell-bent on passing the MCC in Nepal and has given a February end deadline for its parliamentary ratification on the behest of Nepal. If the MCC grant is rejected, it would not just be Nepal losing out on lucrative grant money, but the rejection will also be a slap in the face of the biggest superpower in the world. Even if Nepal claims that it is acting in its own interest by scrapping the multi-million-dollar project, Washington has already concluded that the scenario is one guided by China. While talking about MCC ratification in the Himalayan nation, it would be relevant to shed light on the circumstances when the project was rejected by Sri Lanka as their cabinet suspended the agreement in February 2020. A team of experts at the time had concluded that the agreement contained clauses that were incompatible to the constitution of Sri Lanka. The present Sri Lanka president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, is a staunch critic of the MCC project, where the Sri Lankan president has been quoted as saying that he could not surrender the sovereignty of the nation by signing the MCC agreement. Meanwhile, Madagascar and Mali, both African nations, saw the MCC project terminated due to political turmoil. A military coup in Mali and Madagascar compelled Washington to scrap the agreement. Studies groups such as the Heritage Foundation in America have showed that many developing countries that were linked to the MCC have improved their economies by at least 25%. However, critics have also charged that groups such as the Heritage Foundation are trying to reimpose American imperialism on the global South by praising programs such as the MCC grant.
In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in several provinces regarding their opinion on the role of leaders on the issue of MCC Nepal Compact. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
कोही नेताहरूले पास गर्ने भन्नुहुन्छ, कोही नेताहरूले पास नगर्ने भन्नुहुन्छ। हामीलाई हाम्रो देश जोगाउनु परेको हो।
ढिक्का भएर एमसीसी पास गर्नु राम्रो हुन्छ।
The Election Commission is starting the party registration process from today for the local level elections to be held on 13th of May. The Commission has said application for party registration can be submitted from today until 27th of February. A total of 106 parties have been registered at the Election Commission. The Commission has urged all the registered parties to file application for party registration once again. While applying for the party registration, political parties will have to submit documents and details including the party's full and brief names, date of establishment, address of the party's central office, mailing address, telephone number, email and the party's website. Likewise, the parties will have to include the number of office bearers and members in its Central Executive Committee, Province and District Committees in the application. The parties will also have to mandatorily submit their audit reports. The parties will also have to provide the Election Commission the details regarding the central level, province level and district level elections. And time now for the international update. At least 94 people have died in landslides and flash flooding in the Brazilian city of Petrópolis. The city, which is located in the mountains north of Rio de Janeiro, was hit by torrential rainfall. Houses in hillside and neighborhoods were destroyed and cars swept away as floodwaters raced through the city's streets. The city's mayor has declared a state of emergency. Search and rescue teams are combing the mud for survivors, with Brazil's National Civil Defense saying 24 people have been rescued alive so far, with 94 confirmed deaths. Videos shared on social media showed extensive damage and vehicles floating in the streets. President Jair Bolsonaro, who is on an official trip to Russia, has said he will organize immediate help for the victims. More than 180 soldiers have been deployed and more specialized search teams are expected to arrive later tomorrow. Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what should be done to revive the struggling construction industry? The options: option A, increase development expenditure; option B, prioritize export; and option C, develop large infrastructures. The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us.
Sports News.
Manang Marshangde Club are facing Armed Police Force Football Club today in the Matthews Memorial A-Division League. The match is scheduled to kick off at 1 this afternoon at the Dashrath Stadium. Machindra Club has already won the A-Division League title and Manang are looking to secure their second place with a win today. Manang have 20 points from 10 matches. Third placed Tribhuvan Army Club have 18 points from 10 matches. Meanwhile, APF are aiming to stay in their top 6 by winning today's match. APF are in the 9th spot with 11 points. Manang had defeated APF 2-0 last season. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.